This channel will post updates, as you might have seen from our first video. I'm going to do a lot of tutorials here on this channel, and I'm one of the very dedicated members of this club. Today we're going to be learning the basics of Spike Prime. When you log into your Spike Prime, it should probably say something like this. Select your Spike Prime solution. You should do Spike Prime, because that's what we're going to be coding in. When you select it, you'll get into a window kind of like this. And what you're going to select is New Project. But if you haven't built a robot, there's tons of cool builds here. So start by clicking New Projects and selecting word blocks. If later I might want to do a tutorial on Python, tell me in the comments if you would want that. We're going to be doing word blocks today. So word blocks, and let's name our project something like tutorial. When you're in this project, it might look something familiar if you've ever used Scratch. It's basically, well, an exact copy of Scratch. But Scratch is very powerful, so it's good for that. You'll find this little button that says Connect Spike Prime. You'll want to connect your own personal Spike Prime to it. Okay, we're going to be learning how to move our robot and doing some turns. The first thing you will want to do when doing a robot is setting the movement motors. This knows what you want to do and set the movement motors so your robot will move for the wheels. When you connect it, it will have a bunch of little circles, and it will say which ones are which. Select yours. I'm going to select A and B just for the simplicity, but it might be C and D or A and B. Once you select that, there's a couple more things we can do before we jump into movement. If you want to, you can select your movement speed. For this exercise, we're going to set it to 80%, just because it's a good speed to work on. Then, let's select the Start Moving block, and you can click Run. This should move your robot forward. But you might notice something. Your robot moves forwards and never stops. To stop this, if we go to the Control tab and use the Wait block, it can move for how many seconds? It can start moving, wait, let's say 5 seconds, and then use the Stop Movement block to stop all movement. So if you run your code, it will move for 5 seconds and then stop moving. But there's one thing about this. This isn't a very useful code. So let's remove this and go into some more complicated blocks. This block is probably going to be the block you're going to use the most. This is the Move block. With the Move block, you can use it to move forward. But what's the difference from this? This block makes you start moving forward, so it won't stop, as we had to do there. This lets you move forward for however many centimeters or rotations. This block is more precise, and we can measure in centimeters. So, if we just want to do the exact same thing as we did before, move forward for 5 exact same thing as we did before, but with only one block of code. And now you might ask, why is doing it with one block of code better than doing it with 3 blocks of code? So, coding is all about making things short. This will save space on your computer and get you more points at the table for FLL. So, if we get rid of this, it will work. And bonus, you don't have to code as much, so just use one. But moving for 5 seconds is not very precise. If your movement speed is different, it will be different. You'll have to do a bunch of weird calculations. But if you just do it in centimeters or inches, you can skip all of that busy hassle. So let's say I want to move 25 centimeters. If I now click it, this will move us 25 centimeters. You guessed it. Okay, so now you might say, hey, cool, I learned how to move straight and forward. So now how do I move backwards? So you might see this little pop out. If you click it and click the down instead of that, that will move back. So this code, as you might have guessed, moves you forward 25 and then moves you backwards 25. Okay, so you learned how to move forward, you learned how to move backwards. You might want to turn a bit in your code. So this block is what you can use to turn in code. If you set it to like right 30 and then degrees for, let's say, for 0.5 rotations. This will move, but at a slight angle, and turn your robot. There's a way to do a gyro turn, but that's very complicated and will need its own video. So tell me in the comments if you would want that. And so this is cool and all, but this won't work in the real world. There's things in your Spike Prime that interact with that. So stay tuned for the next video to learn about all these blocks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and definitely consider subscribing. And I'll see you later. Bye.